So today we're just going to do a little bit of videoing on the third farm we've got, which we call Chablis. This is where we've got the house that's just behind me, if you can see it. So everything here is still a bit of a building site, but it's very slowly coming together. I think we've had half the builders in Thailand working on it at some point or another. Big windows along the front of the house and the tie doors in the middle. And move around, get a little bit of a view of the valley. So today everything's a little bit smoky because we're starting to harvest some sugarcane. So this is kind of the sugarcane here. These stalks. Ours is pretty weedy because we don't put a lot of effort into it. It was like a crop that was here when we bought the farm, but we just left it there. But you see all the undergrowth, all the thick brown grass. We're just running a flame through that to burn it out, which makes it easier for the cutters then to get in and chop the stalks down. You see it's a bit smoky and you can hear the sound like a machine gun going off, and that's just the stalks being burnt up. As we move down, you can see some here, but the flame's just running through it. Just running through that, and then as you can see here, the stalks are left nice and clean and bare, and it's easy then for the workers to move through and chop it down. So this is another project we've got on this property, which is some mango trees, probably about 200. These are actually planted before we bought the farm, but we've just pruned them up, done a bit of fertilising. They weren't in great condition before, but hopefully if we can get them up to standard, they'll be giving us a good crop of mangoes about 2 or 3 times every year, which would be nice. A few mangoes for us to eat and a few to sell as well, and the price of mangoes is normally pretty good. There we go, more mango trees over there. Heading up into the mountains. Panning around. House up there, you can just see it. And then there's palm over on the far side, and then we're into the mangoes and the sugarcane like at the beginning. Okay, so the sugarcane's all cut down now and things are cooled down a little bit, so you can see the truck behind me there. You guys are loading this up and then it'll get driven off to market and hopefully we'll get a little bit of cash for it. This isn't going to be a big crop, but like I say, it's pretty much free because it was on here when we bought the property. We haven't really put any investment into it, so it's certainly not a bumper crop, but yeah, it's a bit of money. Good. So here we have the tractor. Had this thing about 7 months, I guess. Looks like it's about 10 years old, but it gets used pretty much non-stop, and pretty much an essential expense, I would have said. Certainly gets used very well. And here's the big project we got on at the minute, building some water storage tanks, and this one's up on the top of the hill. And then we're going to be building a couple more lower down and around the farm to sort of get the irrigation going. So here's the tractor now, and it's moving everything into position for these builder guys. Just moving in water tank there, so they've got some water to mix cement. And you can see down in the bottom of the pit there, they've already moved in all the breeze blocks that will make the side of the water tank. We'll have a concrete floor. The thing will be about 3 meters high, so probably about a meter higher than where the ground is. That's the eventual plan. Then we'll be able to fill it from the big trench that we're digging down at the bottom. So this is down at the front. This is obviously along the road, and again you can see just the sugarcane being burnt off there. Nothing to worry about. And cleared all this area out. I think eventually we're thinking about maybe putting a small restaurant or something by the side of the road, because it's getting quite popular, this road. So this is one of the perks of living on the farm, all the fresh produce we get. This is actually a big honeycomb. If I put my hand on it, you can see roughly how big it is. We just uncovered this today in the fire. This one's actually a little bit old, it's a little bit dried out, it's not too much honey in it, but we get these about once every 2 or 3 weeks, which is a nice freebie. So here's our next project. Here's the digger just unloading. These guys are now going to start digging us another pond down at the bottom, so close to the river. That's going to be our water catchment area, and that's hopefully going to allow us to get water naturally back and pump it into the property. This pond will be pretty deep, probably about 7 or 8 meters deep. We've had to do a bit of negotiation with the local authority and the army because we've got a few days past to do this because it's not strictly legal. But that's the way things work in Thailand. Pretty clever manoeuvre. Not sure it passed health and safety in England, but it's not a big concern over here. So that's the digger working down in the bottom of the valley there. You can probably just see it moving. See the arm there. And the river that we're trying to tap into is on the other side of the road. And if I move around, this is where the water tank is that the guys are building up at the top. And here's the tractor just moving down now. They'll go and help the digger move some earth around the property. Okay, so here we can see behind me the digger's hard at work and he's already been going for a couple of hours. And if we look in the hole we can see a bit of a colour change already in the soil. So let's hope we'll hit some water in the next few metres. So here we are, we've been digging for about 4 or 5 hours now I guess. And we're probably down to depth of about 5 metres maybe. And we're definitely seeing some sort of moisture there in the bottom of the hole. No sort of actual running water yet, but we're going to carry on digging a little bit later this evening and into tomorrow, and hopefully we'll get a bit of a pond sorted out by then. Well, that's probably just about it for today on the farm. The sun's about to go down. It's just about 6:15 now. Got to feed the dogs, I reckon, because they're pretty hungry. They've had a pretty busy day today. And then probably have a bit of a quiet night tonight and get to bed reasonably early. But I'll try to put together a couple more of these videos over the next few weeks, and we can see some other things that are going on over here. So I hope you enjoy it, and hopefully we'll have another one up soon. Bye.